Kulusevski has just won an award. Spurs are still fourth in the Premier League table. Former midfielder Jamie O'Hara has said that Spurs lack leadership. Reports are stating that Spurs are interested in Everton goalkeeper Jordan Pickford. The Spurs women are set to sign an England striker in a record deal, and a meeting is expected between Spurs and Napoli for the permanent signing of Tanguy Ndombele. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start with two results from the Premier League from Sunday. Chelsea beat Bournemouth 2-0 at Stamford Bridge, whilst Manchester United put 3 past Nottingham Forest, beating them 3-0 at Old Trafford. Now Spurs remain fourth in the Premier League. We now have 30 points from 16 matches. Manchester United just behind Spurs. They have played only 15 games. They are just 1 point behind us with 29. Former Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Jamie O'Hara has spoken on TalkSport about Tottenham's performance on Boxing Day against Brentford, of course, drawing 2-2 in West London. He has come out and said that Christian Romero was a massive loss for us and we lacked leadership on the day. He said Romero's a massive loss. He won the World Cup, give him his due. He's entitled to go and enjoy himself in Argentina for a week or so, but we need him back. Without him, we're a completely different side. He is a world-class defender. I think he is fantastic. Jamie O'Hara then went on to say it's a lack of leadership, it's a lack of quality. Eric Dyer shinning the ball out of play, Lenglet not marking, not good on the ball. Tanganga, the timing of the header is like under 15s. He's had to bring on Sanchez so he could win a header, and Sanchez is one of the worst players in the squad. It's nowhere near good enough. A report has just been published by the Metro newspaper, and they are stating that Chelsea, Manchester United and Tottenham are all reportedly considering a move for Jordan Pickford amid uncertainty around his Everton future. Jordan Pickford has just 18 months left on his deal at Goodison Park, and with Everton continuing to struggle near the bottom of the Premier League table, the goalkeeper has been linked with a move away from Merseyside. However, reports are suggesting that the 28-year-old was content to stay and had agreed to a new 5-year contract prior to heading out to the World Cup with England in Qatar. But the Daily Mail have just claimed that the club's board are now having cold feet over the new deal, despite Frank Lampard's desire to tie Pickford's future down. Also in the report from the Metro newspaper, it says that Antonio Conte is on the lookout for Hugo Lloris's successor after the Tottenham captain recently celebrated his 36th birthday. After bursting onto the scene with Sunderland, Jordan Pickford moved to Everton in 2017, and while the Toffees have struggled since then, he has performed to a great standard, keeping 57 clean sheets in 214 appearances. Lots of reports out about this story. This one is from the Daily Mirror, and it states that Tottenham set to smash WSL transfer record to sign Beth England from Chelsea. England did start Chelsea's final WSL match of 2022 against Reading, but has struggled for minutes in general throughout the campaign, and she wasn't selected for either of the last 2 England national squads. And according to a report from the Daily Mail, England 28 will make the switch across London in a move worth £250,000, which would be a record for a deal between 2 WSL clubs. England has struggled for game time at Chelsea this season and said goodbye to her Chelsea teammates before Christmas following the win over PSG in the Champions League. The deal will surpass the previous WSL transfer record of £200,000. That also involved Chelsea when Lauren James signed for the Blues from Manchester United. Reports from Foot Mercato and Get French Football News are stating that Serie A leaders Napoli have arranged a meeting with their counterparts at Premier League outfit Tottenham Hotspur over the permanent acquisition of French international midfielder Tanguy Ndombele. The 25-year-old ex-Lyon man is currently on loan with Napoli, who have a €30 million option to purchase the player at the end of the season. Ndombele is keen to extend his stay and talks are scheduled to take place in London between the clubs over coming to an agreement. The goal on the part of the Serie A club is to negotiate down the option to buy the player, with sources close to the situation believing that the Italian outfit has a better chance of achieving a good deal in January rather than in the summer. The mission is expected to be complicated to achieve for Napoli. However, with Daniel Levy having spent €60 million on a player who is under contract until 2025. Tottenham Hotspur star Dejan Kulusevski has just been named Forward of the Year in Sweden. He said, "I'm so happy and proud to have won this award as Forward of the Year. First of all, I want to thank my family. They have given me everything and the chance to succeed. Then I want to thank my friends, my teammates and my coaches. The year I've had in the Premier League has been fantastic. I'm so happy and lucky to be at Tottenham, and I'm really looking forward to what we can achieve in the future, both in the club team and the national team." Now, my thoughts on these stories in this episode. Let's start by talking about Dejan Kulusevski. He has been absolutely brilliant for us since signing in the January transfer window at the start of this year. So he deserves everything he gets, all of the awards, and he deserves to be successful at Spurs and with his country, Sweden. And I wish him all of the very best and a successful career ahead. Him and Bentancur transformed our season last year and, of course, got us Champions League football. And this is exactly what Antonio Conte needs again in the upcoming January transfer window. Decent quality players ready to come in and start in the starting 11. Good, decent quality players. And as I've said on this channel many, many times, Antonio Conte needs to be backed in the best possible way. Former midfielder Jamie O'Hara has said that we lack leadership. I tell you what, that performance against Brentford on Boxing Day, the first 60 minutes was not good enough again. When you think Antonio Conte has been working with a number of these players at Hotspur Way, whilst a lot of the internationals were away at the World Cup in Qatar, I expected a lot more, I must say. But we grinded out a draw. We ended up getting a point, a very difficult place to go. And I'm not making excuses here, but Brentford did beat the champions Manchester City in their previous game before the World Cup. They're no pushover. But we all expect a lot more in these Tottenham Hotspur performances, and the Aston Villa game on New Year's Day, should I say, will be very telling. I expect Spurs to get back to winning ways, get 3 points on the board, and kick off 2023 on a high. Now, the story about Tanguy Ndombele possibly signing for Napoli on a permanent deal. This has to happen, really. It really does. Tanguy Ndombele and the other players that went out on loan, we need the money in for them. And there's absolutely no doubt that even if Tanguy Ndombele did come back to Spurs, he wouldn't be getting any game time, certainly under Antonio Conte. So if we can just try and get as much money in for these players as possible, offload them on a permanent deal, and then reinvest the money into players that Antonio Conte desperately needs and wants. The reports about Jordan Pickford, personally, I like Jordan Pickford. I think he's a good, decent goalkeeper, and we will need to replace Hugo Lloris very soon. He has just turned 36. His 36th birthday was on Boxing Day. Could we do better than Jordan Pickford? Probably. Let's wait and see on that one. Hugo Lloris will no doubt be number one for Tottenham Hotspur for the rest of this season. Then it'll be interesting to see what Spurs do in the summer. The Spurs women are set to sign Beth England in a record deal. That's come from various reports. The Spurs women at the moment could certainly do with some firepower, and Beth England would definitely provide that. So if the Spurs women could get that deal done, that would be amazing. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you are listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.